try
Okay.
YouTube once, or if I come across, if I have a time, I will also find it and let you know about it. So this was the operating system which we have installed yesterday, and today we will discuss about the file system structure, which is also called as a Linux uh, document or directory structure. So if we compare the file system structure of Linux with Windows, we see that we have more than one parent directories in Windows, like C, D, E, and F. If you want, we can create more
Mm-hmm.
than two primary partitions in Windows. So we can say that we have two or more than two parent directories. Okay, but here we have only one single directory, which is a parent directory. Okay,
Okay.
slash is a single partition, we can call it as, or a single directory, we can call it as. It's better if we call it as a directory as of now. So it is a single directory, single parent directory, and all these are nothing but subdirectories. Okay, so if you want to define a file system, we can say file system is nothing but a metadata. If you like to define a file system, we can also say that file system is nothing but it is a metadata. It's nothing but data within data. This is a perfect definition of a file system. Data
File
within
system
a data is nothing but a
within
file
data.
system. Yeah. This is one kind of data and another data is residing under slash. So we can say that this is nothing but a file system. Now, yesterday we mentioned, Rizwan, can you control the voice from your side? Because it's quite disturbing. Yes, thanks. So if you have any queries, you can simply post your queries in the chat box. Alright, no problem. You can post your queries if you have it. So yesterday while installing the operating system, we have seen the Linux directory structure as well. We could see all those things. However, we'll be seeing in detail what exactly the roles and features of individual directories. As I said, the Linux is nothing but a command line interface. It is completely on command. So there should be a location where a lot of commands or all the commands are stored. Okay. So we have a directory called slash bin. We call it as a user binaries. It stands for bin stands for user binaries, and this is a location which contains the information of the commands that can be used only by normal user and administrator user. So basically, slash bin is nothing but a commands. It's a storage of commands that can be used by administrator, that is a root user, and a normal user. Alright, that's a bin. However, we will be discussing everything in detail though. And coming to slash sbin, slash sbin stands for system binaries. This directory contains the commands that can be used only by administrator, not by normal users. Okay, only root user can use the commands, and that commands are stored under slash bin directory. Coming to slash etc, etc basically referred to as configuration files. Like configuration files are nothing but predefined files in Linux or other distributions of Linux like Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu, Fedora, etc., etc. Configuration files are nothing but which is already been configured or which is inbuilt. So we basically use these configuration files when if we want to configure any kind of a service, or if you want to restrict some users in order to access the services. So as a part of the security, we can use as a configuration files. If you want to configure any server, we will be using the configuration files. Okay, that is a /etc. Now coming to /dev is nothing but device files. So this directory contains the information of the devices which are connected to the laptop, to the server, or to the desktop. Okay, it will show what are the devices which are currently connected to my machine, whether it is a SATA hard disk, Plaza hard disk, virtual hard disk, or how many types of removable devices are connected, like USB or CD, DVD, etc., etc. So it contains all the devices information. Just like yesterday, we have created some partitions on the /sta, which is a SATA hard disk. So we could see that /dev/sta1, /dev/sta2, /dev/sta3. So these are nothing but the individual partitions which are created on a SATA hard disk. So this is nothing but a part of the device, so we can find all those information under /dev directory. Okay. Now coming to /proc. /proc stands for process information, which contains knowledge about what type of processes are running in the background. It may be all kinds of processes like running processes or zombie processes, dead processes, and memory information as well, like swap memory or physical memory. All this information can be found on the /proc folder. Variable is one kind of a folder which contains metadata again. Under /var we do have multiple directories, like we do have mail, where if we are sending an email, that information will be located under /var. If you want to configure any kind of FTP servers or a web-based application servers, then that information would be available under /var. Basically, it's a container of mails. You can call it as a container of mails. So coming to /tmp is a folder which is used for storing the data, which can be also folders on a temporary basis, one kind of a temporary account for a user. /usr stands for user programs. The 70% of the source code would be located under /usr. Your /sbin and /bin are part of USR. So under your USR, you can also find uh, other predefined documents as well, and you can also find the dictionaries. And it is also a location where you can find the backup kind of folders for Yum and other things. You just keep a you need not worry about all those things at the moment. You just make sure that you know all the folders as of now, but as this time comes, you will we will be working on individual folders. As of now, you just uh, keep in mind that these are the folders which we will be using in Linux as a part of the file system structure. That is, you do not do anything else. Just keep in mind, just make sure that yes, you are aware of this, and we will see how to utilize, how we have to work on this particular individual folders. So as I said, USR is nothing but a folder where 70% of the operating system is located, and it is a parent directory for Win and Xwin. /home is nothing but home directory. So whenever a user is created, home directory of a user is created automatically. It can be a normal user home directory or a root user home directory. We have seen that yesterday when we created or when we log into the root account, we could see slash root homes. So that is nothing but the personal directory of any user. Coming to slash boot is a bootloader file. It's a location where the bootloader is located. Like in order to install an operating system files, it's mandatory to load the files. So that can be done under slash boot. The bootloader, which is used to load the files, is nothing but a grand unified bootloader, which is used to load OS files in Linux. LIB stands for System Libraries, which is required in order to start or restart the operating system. Slash OPT is nothing but optional add-on apps. For an example, if you want to install third-party applications like VLC Media Player, Google Chrome, you can store under slash OPT. Alright, and very important, which is slash MNT or slash media. So in Windows, if you want to use the partitions or any removable device, for it, you need to store under slash OPT. Yeah, for an example, if you want to, you have installed Google Chrome, or you have downloaded Google Chrome, or you have downloaded VLC Media, or any other third-party applications, or you have downloaded some games, or you have downloaded some documents. So usually, what we do, we basic in Windows, we basically download, and directly by default it will be stored under download option. So in Linux, if you want to download or if you want to save that, slash opt is the location where we can store the applications. Any kind of an application, whether starting from a database applications or programming applications or testing applications or movies or pictures or songs or etc. etc. That can be stored under slash opt. That's a user and just like slash home we have it. It's a user storage folder. User can store their third-party applications. Is that clear? And very important thing is slash mnt or slash media. Like in Windows, if you're connecting USB or removable devices, you can directly access that by double clicking on it. If you want to access USB, you can directly double click on it. And if you want to access the partitions, you can double click on it, and you can utilize to access the files folders, or you can use as a storage. But in Linux, it's nothing like that. Unless and until you mount a particular device, you cannot access the devices. Like mounting is nothing but, if I have created a couple of partitions, I will be mounting to a particular location. Okay, that is called as a mount point. So slash mnt is a location which is used to mount the partitions, the removable devices as well. So just keep in mind that slash mnt is used for mounting the partitions, mounting the devices. And slash media is a location where removable devices are mounted by default. Like if I'm connecting DVD, if I'm connecting CD, if I'm connecting USB, automatically that would be mounted under slash media location. Mounting is nothing but attaching. So mounting is nothing but an attaching. And slash srv is the service data, which we will not be using more, but as a part of a function, a function is basically containing service related data. Now let us see the theoretical administrators only. These are all used by the administrators. Basically, if you want to mount the network partitions, Now I have two machines which are connected into a network. Now, just like it's similar to like mounting, I'm working on machine A, and we can access the C partition from machine B. So we are doing a network mounting in that case. Okay. So using the partition of one machine into another machine, so that we can make use of using service data. Correct. Let's let's go with the definitions. Like we have discussed about the slash. Slash is nothing but parent directory. Only root user has write privileges under this directory. That means normal user cannot delete any default directories. It cannot do anything. And if normal user given a permission, he can create the files and folders he would like to. And slash bin, as I said, it contains the list of commands that can be used by normal user and super user. Super user is nothing but the root user or an administrator. We have three names for administrator. We can call it as administrator, we can call it as super user, we can call it as root. All are same. And normal user are the users which are created by administrator. So for an example, these are the commands we can use as a normal user and super user, like ps. Ps is nothing but which will provide the process information, list, etc., etc. We will be discussing about all those things maybe tomorrow class. And as far as sbin is concerned, sbin is the container of the command that can be used only by the super user. So these are basically the commands that can be used by super user but not by normal user. And about the configuration, etc, it is the default configuration files required to install servers and other services. Right? These are for just for example, I'm taking as /etc result.conf and logrotate.conf. These are basically used to rotate the logs automatically. And fifth one is a device /deb, uh, contains the device files information, provides the information of the devices connected to the machine, like /dev/tty/dev USB mod 0. It means this is USB is connected. Coming to POC, it contains information about system processes. Like whenever we are running any kind of application, the background some process is responsible to make the application run. So as long as the background process is alive and running, we are able to access the application. Okay, so that information is stored in the slash bar. This is a directory which will give you the information of the process. Okay, and every process will be having one kind of an IDs, 1, 2, 3, something like that. And coming to slash var, it stands for variable files. This includes system logs files. Packages and database files are located under slash var, uh, and system logs are located under slash var, and mails are located and slash var. System logs are nothing but which will give the information about what is happening on a particular machine, or any kind of service is blocked or something like that. So in real time, whenever if there is a problem with any kind of a server, whether if FTP server or HTTP server is not running, first thing is what we do, we will simply check the logs, and in the logs itself we will get the information what's wrong or what's a defect in the particular services. So we will always report a logs in order to troubleshoot any kind of a server or a services. Log is nothing but one kind of a report. For an example, I'll log into my server at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I will do some kind of some kind of a task, and till 4 o'clock I'll be working on this particular server. So log is one kind of information which will provide the information which will provide uh, the, the access information and the task information, like what is the time which user has logged into my machine at what time, and what the files or what the partitions or what the folders he has created, and what the files or folders he has deleted. Every information would be stored under a log. Log is nothing but one kind of a information. Like if my machine has been hacked, how can I know that my machine has been hacked? I'll be getting the information in the log. It's a one kind of a report which will provide you the information of your machine. Okay, is that clear? Yeah. Coming to temporary slash TMP. So files under this directory are deleted when the system is rebooted. So these are temporary files created by systems and users. Slash USR stands for user programs, and here it contains the binary files of user programs. As I said you that it contains binaries, libraries, documentations, and source code. Source code is nothing but the algorithm for second level programming. If you want to update the operating system, you can collect the source code from here. And as I said, all those things which are library, is it the same slash same? Yes, slash bin slash sbin slash click. These are all are stored under slash usr. Okay, just like slash user slash bin. It is the same. Slash bin and slash usr slash bin both are same. Slash sbin and slash usr slash sbin are same. Slash lib and slash usr slash libs are same. Coming to home directories, it's a container of the home directory of the user, like slash home slash Nikita slash home slash John slash home slash root. Coming to boot, boot is a bootloader files which contains information about the bootloader or contains bootloader related files. Kernel init.rd, VM Linux, proc files are located under slash boot. So these are nothing but which are responsible in order to uh, installed in Linux, and to access the Linux pages, these images are required, generic images. So which are nothing, which are located under slash. Then slash lib stands for system libraries. Basically, even the window, any operating system libraries are common. They are used to support the machine in terms of restarting and rebooting the machines. Okay, and other operations as well. It has also other features. Slash opt stands for optional add-on applications, which is basically used to store the third-party applications or another subdirectories if you want. Slash mnt is a mount point which is used to mount the directories, partitions, or removable devices. This can be done by the administrators. And this is a partition, this is a location that can be used only by uh, root user or super user. Coming to slash media, media is nothing but is a container of removable media devices. Like if you are connecting the CD, DVD, or floppy disk, that is directly mounted to slash media partition or directory. And coming to SRV, SRV stands for service data. It contains the service related data for the servers like CVS, etc., or any other servers like DNS, DHCP, etc., etc. So these are the things. These are the subdirectories. CVS, yes, server related data. CVS basically is nothing but related to some kind of a services. Server specific data section. Now let us see and the subdirectories in our machine how they are located. The graphical user interface. Right. So this is my computer. In order to access the file system, I have to go into the file system icon. Now I can see all the subdirectories available. This is my parent directory, and these are all the subdirectories, just what we have discussed just now. All the parent directories, all the subdirectories followed by the parent directory. And this is one kind of a net and MIC. The feature of NET and MIC both are same. It's basically used to mount the network devices. As I said you that if I want to use the network devices, that means device which is connected on one machine, and we are trying to access the devices from another machine, and that has to be mounted by using NET, MIC or SRV. These are the three folders which we can use for network related data. But we will be using this for the advanced concept, like whenever we are using for a storage or ice cases, something like that, we will be using it. Okay. Now let us discuss about command line interface. Now you can see if I want to access a terminal, I can directly I can browse like this, application system tools, terminal here. I can simply right click on the space available on my interface desktop, and then click on open in terminal. That's it. So this is a shell, this is a bash shell for us. Now the head, you can call it, you can see root at the rate of server. So server is nothing but the host name or the computer name what we have given at the time of installation, and this is the root user. Okay. Now this one is the name of a user who is currently logged in. The root is nothing but a super user or an administrator. Server is nothing but a host name or a computer name, server.agus.com, and desktop is nothing but a present working directory. Desktop is nothing but a present working directory. Hash stands for, it denotes, basically hash symbol denotes that the user who is logged in right now is administrator. Okay. Now if you take about this, now if you can compare both the two terminals, you can find changes. Okay, so you can see here root is a user, here student is a user. Server would be the same because student user has logged in on the same machine, so the machine name will be the same. And coming to this third location, it is desktop over here, and it is something tilde symbol. Here it is hash, and here it is a dollar. Then hash in the sense, I'll write here what we basically root user who is logged in, that is a root, at the rate of any name. Here just for in our case it is server, so it is uh, defines a system or a host name or computer name. Then the third location which we have here is at a desktop, that we can call it as present working location. Okay, or present working directory. These are the things we basically call it as. And here in this case, student is a user who has just not logged in. Now hash in this case, it is a super user. How can we identify whether the login user is an administrator or a local user? So with the help of this sign signature, hash is for super user and dollar is for local user. Okay, so these are the things uh, we can find under on terminal. Okay, now we will be discussing that application owner. No, it's not an application owner, it is a root user. Like for an example, as I said you that we in Linux there is a Linux has the feature of multi users. That means multi users can log into the same computer or a same laptop or a same operating system. Okay, then how can you define that the logged in user is a normal user, the logged in user is a root user? So with the help of this particular signature or a sign or a symbol, you can say that this user who is currently logged in is an administrator. Or by the dollar sign, you can define the user who is logged in is not an administrator, he is a local user or he is a normal user. Like that you can define it. That is the use of the signatures. For a system, how many root user can be? We can create only one root user, and many thousands of normal users can be created. We can create normal users in a range of 65536, something like that. It's more than 65,000 normal users or the user IDs can be created. Actually, it depends upon the kernel now. Okay, so completed now. Do you have any queries with respect to any uh, terminal? Because this is the first thing you are supposed to uh, work, because from tomorrow onwards we'll be using terminal, we won't be using any graphical user interface. Alright, now let us discuss about the third location, which is, do I need to remember all these systems? I did not get you. What do you mean by systems? File systems. Yes, if you're working as a Linux administrator in future, you are supposed to remember it, and when you work with the machine regularly, you need not worry about that. Automatically, it would be available. It will come automatically in your mind when you will be using it. Practice makes a man perfect. So, whenever if you're working on the Linux machines or any distributions of Linux, it's common and you can get it very easily. You need not worry about it. You just need to practice it. That's it. Understand each and every directory functions and you can utilize it. Okay, now I want to discuss about the third location, which is desktop. What exactly it is? Now if I go for slash, this would be my location. Location is changing, right? Now if I say that you are currently residing in the 5th floor, okay, or your present working directory, yes, this is a present working directory. Now assume you are located on the room number 505 on the 5th floor. Uh, Near Kachigura is the location, or Torichoki is the location. Uh, Green building is the name of a building, and 5th floor is yours, and 5.5 505 is your room number. So how can I acknowledge it? I cannot go to directly 505, right? I cannot directly go to 5th floor. The very first thing is I have to go to Tolichoki first. I need to find green building address, then go to 5th floor and go to 505 room number in order to locate you, right? So this is nothing but a process. We have to, in order to access or in order to locate any object, we have to follow this process. So for an example, now slash is nothing but we are currently under the parent directory. Slash is nothing but a parent directory. We can also call it as a root. Okay. Now we have many folders or many directories under root. We have many folders and many directories under root. Okay. Now desktop. Previously we were under desktop. That means if you are working, if you are creating any kind of a files, any kind of a folders, that would be stored under desktop, or it can be seen here as well. Okay, it can be seen here as well. Now if I want to locate my files and folders under downloads, then I have to go inside the downloads document. Okay, now how can I do that? How can I do it? This is a very important concept. It's called it as a path. We are discussing about the paths now. Now, root. Where is download located? Where is download located? Download is located under the home directory, not root. It's under the home directory of the root user. So what would be the path for me? It would be like slash root, then slash documents. No, for for root user, for root user, slash root slash document itself is a home directory. Okay. But for normal users, we have to use slash student slash home. But for root user, we don't have a slash home. We simply have slash root. Okay. So slash root slash documents. So now we are working under documents. So if you want to move to slash downloads slash root slash downloads, we are into downloads. If you want to go to music folder, then slash root slash music. Okay, videos. This is the things. All right, and you have to remember one thing: Linux is a language, predefined language, like is a case-sensitive language. This is a command we will be working, but we cannot use ls in capital. Okay, so Linux is a case-sensitive. If we give in uppercase, the command is not available. Command will not be working. Okay. Now we will be discussing about the commands, some basic commands what we have in Linux. It may take 2 days for us in order to complete all the commands. So we'll do one thing. Tomorrow is the last day, right? Tomorrow we will be having a class, and from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will not be having a class. So directly we'll have a class on Monday, I believe. Is it okay? Is it right, Rizwan? You won't be available from Friday onwards, right? Friday to Sunday? Yes. And what about Monday? Will you be available from Monday? Yes. So we'll do one thing. We will, right. I have some documents which I have created for the individual sessions. Right. There. So we will these command classes will take nearly 2 to 3 sessions, 1 hour sessions. So we'll start some of the commands now. Okay. Now, see, what is a present working directory? Whenever if you want to know what is the directory I'm currently working in, you simply need to who am I? Yeah, we will be using that as well. PWD will give you the information about the present working directory. Which location you are currently residing. Okay, you are currently located under slash, and if you give who am I, it will show you who is the user you are currently logged in with, whether it is a root user or whether it is some other user. Who am I, or who command, which will give you the information. Yeah, if it is student, it will give you the student. If it is a student, it will give you student. It will provide you the name of the user. That's it. And who is nothing but a command which will give you what are the operations. It's a login session. At what time we have executed 725 and 723 and 725. At what time we have logged into the session. That information it will provide it. Okay. Now, if you want to clear the screen, you can use CLER or you can use Control L. Okay. Both are used. Now, suppose if I want to store my files or data on my desktop. So it's mandatory I need to go into the desktop location, and the desktop is located under the home directory of the root. So how can it go to the particular location? So I have to follow the path like /root and then the desktop. This is right, exactly done. Now if you check for the present working directory, if you want to confirm the present working directory, give this command. Now it will give you this under /root/desktop. Now let us create some files or folders. Now I'll be starting with the folders here. Now to create a folder, we have the command called mkdir. Mkdir stands for make directory. And if I want to create any folder, so I can give as one underscore Linux. So this is a folder I have created, and I can locate that folder on my desktop. Here it is. Yes. We'll be using the ls button, ls commands later on. Let's discuss how to create the directories and subdirectories, the parent directories, etc. Okay. Now, directory has been created with name rizwan underscore Linux. Now, if I want to go into the directory in order to create further more files or directories, I have to use cd, okay, and then followed by the folder name, which is this one. If I press tab button, it will automatically complete the path for us. Now here, now go for present working directory again. So we are completely into Rizwan. Alright, we are into Rizwan underscore the next folder. Now here I can create another directories, like we can create it as Linux 1 RLZ underscore Linux 1 or RLZ underscore Linux 2 or RLZ underscore Linux 2. These are the folders which we will be creating. So these are the subfolders. Okay. So in a single command we can create multiple folders. In a single command we can create multiple folders. Okay. And this is a directory. This is a creation of the directories. With this we can create multiple subdirectories. Now let us create some parent directories. Now what I'm creating is nothing but parent directory, or you can also call it as nested directory. Okay. Now how do we create a parent directory? Parent directory is nothing but is a parent. Nested directory is nothing but directory inside a directory. Alright. Directory inside a directory is called a nested directories. So as of now we are currently working in Rizwan underscore Linux, and now we want to create a parent directory. Or can you create a parent directory? The command for that is mkdir -p, and for an example, world, then Asia, then India, then Hyderabad, and then for the summit here. Now this is the parent directory I would like to create. Okay. If I go for ls space hyphen capital R world, this will give me the structure of parent directory in pictorial representation. So it is providing the information that Asia is under world, okay, and India is located under Asia, which is a part of world. Hyderabad will be under India, and Ameerpet will be under Hyderabad. So this is the scenario. This is nothing but the parent directories. This will be used on the real time too. This all the commands of course. So if you want to create the parent directories or the nested directories, these are the commands we are supposed to use it. Now assume if you want to, this is the path we have to follow it. If you want to access Hyderabad, we cannot go directly into Hyderabad because Hyderabad is located under India, Asia and world. Okay. Now I'll do one thing, I'll just go out of this and come back to my desktop. Now suppose I want to go to world. If I'm trying to access world, which I have created just now, I'm getting a message as no such file or directory access. So why I'm getting it? Because we have created world directory inside Rizwan. We have created world inside Rizwan underscore Linux. Okay, that is our location. But we are currently trying to access world from desktop location. Alright. So what we have to do, we first has to go to the folder where just now we have created Rizwan underscore Linux. So we can do that by using this thing. Okay. Alright, now if you go for present working directory, it is rizwan underscore Linux. Now, ls is a command which will give you the information about available files or available directories. So if you give the command ls, you come across the files and folders you have created just now. And if you're looking for, it also works as a search command as well. It's nothing but locating the files or folders. So you're looking for world, so you'll go into the world now. Okay, now check for the pictorial representative. So okay, this will give you the information about it. Now from you're currently inside Rizwan underscore Linux and assume you would like to reach to Amirpet. So you have to reach via Asia, World, Asia, India, Hyderabad, and then Amirpet. So what would be the command? First World, and then Asia, then India, and then Hyderabad, and finally you will be moving into Amirpet. So that is my, we call this path is nothing but an absolute path. Absolute path is nothing but in a single command we are making it a perfect destination. Okay, or we are not moving to the destination in partitions. Okay, okay. Partitions in the sense first reaching to world, then moving to Asia, then India, then Hyderabad, and then America. Now, this is an example of absolute path. Now, if you are located here, you are into Amirpet folder. Now, from Amirpet folder, if you want to reach to Hyderabad, if you want to move back, you can use this command to move one step back.
Yeah, if I forgot my path, is
Okay.
there any command to locate my directory or something?
Path in the sense which you're okay.
If I'm lost, if I do not know where I saved my directories, I need to search my name of it. So is there any command to locate it?
Yes, we have a find commands, or you can use
So
ls.
it will find.
Yes, you can use ls. As I said, ls is also used to search or locate the files. But you know,
Uh, if
it
if we go for ls, will it for all the directories in complete
no,
root
no,
or
no, no,
no?
no. For that we have a find command.
If we using find command,
Yes,
will it use the entire? Will it
yes,
search the entire root?
yes. It will search the entire path.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we will see that too as well. So I was saying that from Amirpet you want to move to Hyderabad, you have then in that case you're supposed to give the command called cd space dot dot. That means you are moving one step behind. From Hyderabad, if you want to move to Asia, that means two steps formula. So dot dot separated by a slash notation. and then if you execute this command, you will be under Asia. So similarly, if you want to move to 3 steps behind, you can use like this, etc., etc., etc. Got it? So present working directory, you are under slash. Got it? So from Hyderabad, you came to Asia. From Asia, 4 steps behind. That means from you went behind the world. Then Rizwan, that is the second. Rizwan, the next, that is the second step. Then desktop is the third step. Okay, root home, and finally fourth step is slash root.
Is this, I mean, can we use the dots when getting inside the directory or just when coming outside of the directory?
Not inside, only for the outside. You have to use if you want to move 1 step behind or 2 steps behind, or to move outside of the current
Okay,
directory. Okay,
okay, okay.
and
Thank you.
to move inside, we will be using cd space the directory name. Okay, root, just like root, we have desktop and Rizwan. So to move into the directory, we will be using cd and followed by the folder name. And to move outside, out of the directory, we'll be using cd space slash slash notation. Okay, is that clear? Right. Now we have a command to create a empty files. We have seen how to create the folders so far, nested folders, and let us discuss about how to create how to create the files uh, using touch command. Touch command basically is used to create empty files. Okay, not the content file. It is used to create the empty files. Like if I want to create the files like files underscore Linux or anything like Linux something, no, unless this file has been created. So all the time the color in blue indicates it is a directory, it is a folder. So file doesn't have any kind of the colors here. And again, it is an empty file. Now if you want to create the files, multiple files uh, in a single command, you can use like unix ccna, uh, ccnp, ccie, unix, or if you want to use a Solaris, you can go for this command like that. Okay, but if you want to create the file in a sequential order, like for an example, Linux underscore files, then you can use 1 to 10 files. Okay, and click on enter. Go for ls, you can find the files like this which are created in sequential order. Or if you want to create some secret files, underscore files underscore uh, my office, then you can use this form. You can use this notations. You can use a command like this. So when you go for ls, you can find. So you can work on the file on this in the sequential orders. Okay, file ms4 something 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 like that. So for that we will be using this command. Got it? But that is basically used to create only empty files. Again, once if I want to enter any data into the files, then we will be using some other command. We'll be using cat commands. But touch is basically for creating multiple empty files. Got it? I'll erase the screen. Yeah. Cat command is used. Cat basically stands for concatenation, which is used to enter the data or enter a text in a command line. Okay, so we will continue that commands tomorrow because I want everything to be go in a sequential order. So from cat tomorrow we will be discussing how to create a file, how to write a data into a file, and how to append a file, how to copy a contents of a file from one to another location, and append. Yes, append in the sense addition. Like if you want to add some more data into the existing file, then we will be using cat command again. Retrieve, there is nothing called retrieve. Retrieve in the sense we can only read the file. Retrieve, there is nothing like a retrieve option in creating a file. We can perform limited operations using a cat. Okay, so we will end the session today till touch command, and tomorrow when we start the session we will complete the maximum command, or if possible we will complete all the commands, just like copy command, move command, date command, and word count,
Okay.
etc., etc.
Okay. And can you send the video for today too?
Sure,
Because
sure,
I
sure.
need, I need. Can you send me the Red Hat thing? Because I've downloaded CentOS now.
Mhm.
I need a link for Red Hat too. Yesterday, the one which you gave, it didn't work with me.
Okay, okay. So if I have the time, documents and all those things I'll be sending you for sure. But as far as that link is concerned, if I have the time, I will be working on it. And if I find the best way to download both Red Hat and CentOS, I'll be forwarding you to your email ID.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Thanks. So